presentation show, Bring It On Season 4. I'm your hostess, Shin Ah-young. We started with 18 presenters from all over the world, and now we are down to the final 3. Today is the season finale, and we will be welcoming our new champion soon. So let's get the show started. First things first, let's say hello to our judges. Now, it will be difficult to judge today because we have to be extra fair and extra objective, but luckily, he knows how to do it. Let's say hello to Ilya. Hi. She's been with us since season 1. She knows how to win. Our mother hen, Amy, is coming. Hi. He is suave yet demanding with such a sweet smile. Let's say hello to Robin. Hey. And a global beauty for our global presentation show, the multi-talented Punita. Hi. Hi. Okay, Bring It On Season 4. There's going to be a lot of blood today because today is the season finale. After 10 weeks of fierce competition, we are down to the final 3. So let's meet our top guns now. The boys go wild when she's on stage. You know who I'm talking about. Oumaima from Morocco, Africa. Hi. There's so much more to her than meets the eye. She's beautiful, she's gentle, she's approachable, but behind that smile, there is ambition like you've never seen before. So let's take a look at her amazing performance so far.
Hi, my name is Oumaima. I'm from Morocco and I'm 21 years old. And
so that's pretty impressive. Now talking about the origins of the tagine.
Perfect score from our judges. Congratulations, Oumaima. Wow.
practice, a lot of practice. So when you practice, you present better, but also when you feel what you're talking about, you give everything and also your presentation is better. Well, today is the last day before the final episode of Bring It On Season 4 to 4 days. And it serves as a platform for already.
Our next presenter, everybody saw him as a sure winner. From the United States, representing America, Chris. Welcome back. USA! Now, Chris was the chosen one from our very own Amy, the mainstay of our show and season 1 champion. And sure enough, he had some flawless victories. So let's see Chris in action.
Poem I've written. After you've heard it by the travel bug, I hope you'll be bitten.
Where I work. This is an emergency shelter for 11 to 7.
Press the buzzer.
Whoa! Scan it. Here. No. What's that in your advertisement there on your desk?
Chris from the United States. Right.
Well, in the past, my main strategy has been to study as much as I can about the topic so that I'm ready for the judges' questions and that I feel comfortable discussing anything about the topic.
And our last presenter, she had to work harder than anybody to get here. In the redemption round, she beat Ken by a narrow margin of 3.24 points to earn the golden ticket. Let's welcome back Melina from Iran. Hi. Now, Melina was with us in season 2 as an audience member. She picked up a thing or two during those days, and now she's a finalist. So let's take a look at some of her highlights.
Pistachio, or Yalda Festival, which is the longest night of the year. We eat pistachio and...
This is how you do presentation. This is exactly how you do presentation.
Like housing is pretty special, right? Like is the structures of
syrup is I researched 66% of sugar. I'll talk about the glaze.
I saw that there's English.
Melina.
Great job, everybody. Now, these three presenters will be representing three continents, Africa, America, and Asia. Now, season 4, it's been an incredible journey, and in the studio today, there are some very familiar faces who's been with us in this incredible journey. Let's welcome back Mir, Sarah, Matthew, Maureen, and Ginger. Where are you guys? Hey, Matthew's back. Matthew is back.
Hello, everyone. Girls, miss you.
And Ginger, it's been a while. Welcome back to the studio. How you been?
Hello, I'm Ginger. We didn't see for 3 months, right?
Yes.
I miss you guys.
Oh,
Do you miss
you
me?
too.
So last time I enjoyed this TV show, so I hope today everyone is also enjoy it. Okay?
Yeah. All right. Woo. And next to Ginger, how can we forget that face? Mir, what's up? Yeah, Mir.
Hello, guys. I'm back in here, studio.
I know, and we cannot forget your amazing performance.
Do you remember?
Excited.
Of course.
Am I?
Of course. You won us over with your dance skills. How can we forget that?
Ooh, I didn't see your dancing skills.
Punita didn't see it.
Okay, maybe I can show you.
Right now?
Right now.
Yeah. Come on up. Woo-hoo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woo! Queen Ming! Queen Mir! Wait a second. King Mir!
Okay, now we're ready.
I vote. Oh my gosh, the studio is heating up. It's perfect for the finale. Woo! Okay, the stakes are high, but it's gonna be entertaining, so let's enjoy. Every week on Bring It On, we have a new theme. So what's today's topic? Let's take a look. Today's topic is unique festivals. Now, all year round, amazing festivals are held all over the world. So we were curious, what did our viewers think of today's topic? We went out to the street to find out. Global interactive presentation show, Bring It On. We have our very own smartphone application so we can hear your voice. In season 4, we count the votes live in the studio so we can hear your voice better. You get to choose your favorite item.
Choose A because I was kind of interested.
I chose the American festival because for me it's the most, it's very good experience, very nice place to do.
I choose UNESCO letter C because it's good.
I choose UNESCO because it's for social reasons.
I choose B because it gives you a reason to dress up.
I also choose B because it's a good reason to dress up.
I choose Halloween because it's the most famous among teenagers.
Okay, I choose B because I love Halloween. I like to get dressed up and act a little silly.
I like Halloween because girls don't wear anything.
Okay, that was an interesting reason to like Halloween because girls don't wear anything. Judges, do you have anything to say to that?
It's true. It's true. It's a time where I guess girls get to dress in kind of skanky outfits and pass as a bunny or whatever, but I guess it's beyond that, I'm pretty sure. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I heard Halloween, but what about other festivals in your countries that you'd like to share with us?
Well, in Toronto, my hometown, we have something called the Zombie Walk, and everyone takes to the streets dressed full on in zombie gear. And they don't mess around, like this is serious.
Oh my
It
God.
looks so real. Streets are closed down. They have some costume competitions. They also have some flash mobs, and it's kind of a fun way to warm up to Halloween because it is the last week of October. Looks like fun, right?
That looks scary too.
But I mean, it's your opinion, so go ahead. Halloween.
Well, America certainly didn't invent Halloween. It actually started in Europe, as I'll talk about in a little bit. But I think it has in recent years made spread over the globe, right? We've made it famous through our culture, movies, music. It's basically everywhere, and even here in Korea.
Right.
As a matter of fact, if our lovely host says it's okay,
Me?
I have a cocktail, a special Halloween cocktail I'd like to make, and you could test it out if that's okay with you.
Great.
Are you allowed to drink on the job?
She does it all the time.
Every week.
Every
already,
week.
All right. Today we're gonna make a little cocktail called an American vampire in Seoul.
Ooh.
Okay, which speaks to today's performance. So first we're gonna use some whiskey. Okay, shot and a half. Get you nice and feeling good here.
Yeah.
Okay, same amount of cranberry juice.
Cranberry.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, this is another kind of whiskey?
No, this is actually cassis and simple syrup mixed together.
Oh.
Okay. We're gonna take a lemon, squeeze it right in here. Okay, just like so. All right, now we take our shaker cup.
Ooh.
Hold it tight. All right, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, just strain straight into our glass here.
Oh.
Wow.
Sort of
It
a
does
Halloween.
feel a little like Halloween.
Yeah, a little
Looks
red
great.
color. And to top it off, we've got a scary little spider there. There we go. And there you go.
Cheers. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna taste it.
Give us the dramatic music.
A taste.
Hopefully.
A taste.
That's a chug.
A sip. One
If you take the spider off, you can actually drink more quickly.
Yeah, it's probably.
It's like Halloween. It's good. I could taste the cranberry and the lemon. It's good.
Whiskey, obviously.
Yeah, it tastes really good. It does feel like Halloween, so definitely try it sometime. So thank you, Chris, for sharing that with us.
You're very welcome.
She doesn't try things.
What was your face?
Wow.
Let's talk about Iran. Melina, are there any festivals that you like to talk about?
Actually, yes, there is.
What's happening?
Wow, what's happening?
What's happening?
The lights. Fire. This is supposed to be fire, and it's really important. It's an important part of our culture, and it symbolizes courage and hope in our tradition. So there was actually a very important Iranian ritual called Sadeh, that is a very big fire festival to ward off the coldness and darkness, and it's even a big part of our current festivals now, fire. It's a big element, like such as Nowruz, that I'm gonna talk about soon. So yeah, I will have more for you guys soon.
Okay, we're looking forward to it. It's an interesting topic, and today is the season finale, just in case that you forgot. So let's start. First, here are the rules. And this is how our scoring system works. From the judges, 40%. From the studio audience, 10%. From the Bring It On application, 30%. Talkback, 20%. The votes will determine first, second, and third places. Now here on Bring It On, Your Opinion Matters, application votes make up 30%. 30% of the total score. So log on to the Bring It On application and vote for your favorite item. But remember that if you're watching us on television, voting for next week will be open. Now, without further ado, let's start the final round. Let the competition begin. Now today, Oumaima from Morocco will start us off. Her item is about Morocco's Imilchil wedding festival. Now you have 3 minutes, but before we hear from you, here is a special video message. Let's watch.
Hey Oumaima, congratulations for making it to the finals. I'm very proud of you and thanks a lot for representing the great continent of Africa. Oumaima is the best, Oumaima is #1, and Oumaima is the winner.
I don't hope on it, but I know you're gonna be the winner of this competition. Do your luck and don't be stressful. You can do it. Fatih!
Hi, I'm Oumaima from Morocco, and today I would like to start by telling you a little story. Now, once upon a time, in the high Atlas Mountains of Morocco, lived 2 lovers who belonged to enemy tribes. Now, their families would never let them marry, and out of sorrow, they started crying and crying and crying until they cried themselves out to death. Now, the legend said that they cried so much that their tears formed 2 lakes that exist now in the village. Now, their families, seeing what happened to their kids, they decided to end they decided to end it and to start this festival in which people would gather and form couples. And this, my friend, is how Imilchil Festival started. Now, today the festival takes place every 3rd week of September and it goes on for 3 days. It is said that about 40 to 60 couples each year form thanks to this festival. A lot of couples. Now you would ask me, so how does it happen during the festival? Let's imagine the situation where I am one of the girls in the festival trying to look for a soulmate, and there's this guy who's trying to approach me. Now here, first step, he would start to initiate conversation. Here, 2-case scenario. If I don't like him, I'll be just like, no thanks, and I would just move away. Now, if I do like him, I would take his hand and I would go to see my parents who are sitting in a nearby tent. Here, second step, my parents are highly likely to approve of my choice, but they would still make sure that it's the good one. At the end, if everything goes well with my parents, we would finalize our engagement right away, and then I would tell him the magical phrase. Dear my new fiancé, you have captured my liver. Yes, you heard it right, liver, not heart, because it's considered the location of true love in old Berber culture.
Wow.
Now, each year, about 30,000 visitors come to the festival in total, from which 5% are said to be foreigners. Now, there are a lot of tours and packages, but if I were to give my opinion, it's 100 times better if you go by yourself, so you can get in direct connection with the locals. Now, since I'm very nice, I did the math for you, so it will take you around $450 maximum for 3 days. Now, one thing is for sure, the festival didn't change a bit since the first time it started, meaning only one thing, the festival is a huge hit. Now, first, economically, it's once-in-a-year chance for many people to come together and exchange their goods. Second, the philosophical meaning it has is priceless. It shows that you don't have to be rich or educated or special in any way to find true love. Imilchil Festival celebrates the beauty of sacred love in its simplest but most meaningful way. Thank you for listening. Shukran jazilan in my language.
Thank you, Oumaima. That was a great presentation. I'm sure we have some questions. Judges. Yes, Amy.
Is this only for locals or where can I sign up?
Good point, good question. Well, it's not for locals, as anybody can join the festival on the day. You just have to wear traditionally and come to the festival. And then who knows, maybe you'll find your soulmate during the festival.
I think before we sign up, I think we have to be a bit careful because it could be a bit dangerous as just any single person go into a different country, or even if the locals trust each other. Don't you think it's a bit hasty getting married in just one meeting?
Well, I do agree with you, but in this case of Imilchil Festival, the fact is there are many tribes who come together in the same area. Now, the tribes, they know each other from previously. You know, they're small villages. So, you know, this is this family, this is this family, this boy comes from this family. So they do know each other. And you don't really have to be worried about anything. I can guarantee you that.
Wow. So
where can I sign?
So we have Oumaima seal of approval. Safety, that's good to know. That's all the time we have for our judges. Why don't we turn to our studio audience if they have any questions? Raise your hand. Oh, I see two, but Sarah was faster with the mic. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'd like to know, you said earlier on that in Berber culture, the true love is found in the liver. Can you explain us why?
Well, I'll tell you a little secret. Since I was young, we've been using this expression where we say, you're my liver to somebody we love. But until now, I really didn't know what it means until I was preparing for this presentation. So I looked it up, and it said that liver helps in general for your digestion and then help in your well-being as a human being. That's why they think that more than a heart, liver is the well-being source and therefore the love source.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Now, at first when I heard the phrase, you're my liver, I didn't think it was romantic, but hearing her explanation, it is.
I thought it was a typo of lover. I think you missed out on that.
That's a very romantic expression. Thank you for explaining that to us. Now, that's all the time we have for questions, and now is the important moment. It's time to vote. Let's start with our studio audience. Studio audience, please get out your smartphones and get ready to vote. And now our judges, it's your turn to vote.
Wow.
Please make up your minds in 3. Please make up your minds in 3, 2, 1. Press the buzzer. Is that it? 2 out of 4 for Oumaima's final presentation. Let's hear why. Amy, you were the first to vote.
Yes, I was. I think you do deserve a vote. It wasn't your best presentation, to be honest, but it was an interesting topic, and we all learned something new today, and I could see you put in a lot of effort. You were a little bit nervous, which is maybe why the others didn't vote, but overall, I think you did a great job.
Okay, what about you, Ilya?
I still remember your presentation about that desert hotel. That was just the perfect presentation, and I kind of expected something better than that, and you didn't do it better than that. I still remember that presentation, not this one. Though this presentation was excellent, and you did a great job during Q&A session, but that was not enough for the finals, sorry.
Okay, so 2 out of 4 from our judges. Now let's find out what our studio audience thought of Oumaima's presentation. Here are the studio points for Oumaima. From the judges, 20 points. And from our studio audience, 7 points for a total of 27 points from the studio.
I've got at least 3 votes, but then I got 2, and it's a bit, I'm not very happy about the results today.
Next up is Chris from the United States. He will be presenting about the Halloween, but instead of a special video message, I hear there is a live one. Now, what is this? From Marine?
Hello, Chris. Well, actually, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, so I'm really looking towards your presentation. I know you can do it well. No pressure, and have fun. Go America!
Woo!
Halloween is definitely one of America's best holidays. Let's take a look at it. There's mystery. There's dress up. There's scaring little kids, giving them candy. There's parties, parades. It's a pretty awesome holiday. All right, so it's October 31st, that's Halloween. Now, every year, millions of Americans and people around the world dress up like this, but why? What caused this madness? Where did it come from? Well, to answer that question, you gotta go back 3,000 years to the Celts. Okay, they believed that ghosts were actually real and that could harm you, right? So on their New Year's Eve party, when they believed ghosts were the strongest, that's the 31st of October, they did bonfires, they had animal sacrifices, they carved terrifying lanterns from turnips, they wore masks and scary costumes. Why? All to appease these ghosts, which they thought were real, and make it through the upcoming winter and the new year. Now, in the modern day, of course, Americans don't believe in ghosts, at least most of us. But as time has passed, Halloween has grown more and more secular, less superstitious. I think this is a good thing. It's in line with the development of the modern age, right? But we still do love our costumes and our terrifying lanterns, which brings us to pumpkins. Pumpkins are native to North America, and so when the Irish brought Halloween to America in the mid-1800s, they found pumpkins. These are much easier, softer to cut than turnips. So they ditched the turnips, and the modern jack-o'-lantern was born, okay? Now, did the Celts also invent trick-or-treating? No, they did not. The Celts were actually conquered by the Romans about 2,000 years ago, right around the time of Christ. Okay? Now, as Roman Catholicism grew in power, the Celts' New Year's Eve and New Year's parties or celebrations were assimilated into the Catholic All Hallows Eve and All Hallows Day, which today we call Halloween and All Saints Day. Now, All Saints Day involved going door to door and begging for treats and or money for the poor. Okay? Over hundreds of years, this led to the modern tradition of Halloween trick-or-treating. Now, Halloween today is a huge, second biggest holiday in the States, $7 to $8 billion annually. Culture is everywhere. There's special activities, haunted houses, corn mazes, so on, okay? There's parades, wild parties. Now, some people say there's too much candy, too much alcohol on this day. They might be right. Right? But there's also family time, new friends and experiences, and it's also about creativity, self-expression, and fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris, for a great presentation. It's time for some questions. Judges, who would like to go first? Amy?
Yeah, living in Korea, it's been interesting to see how Halloween has grown here. If you go to Itaewon, it is madness now. I'm wondering, in the States, is there a particular city or state that just goes all out?
Oh, yeah. Well, you might not be surprised to hear New York. Right? New York is a top destination for a lot of people. New York's the place to go. Every year they have a parade, which they've held since 1974. 2 million people go to this thing every year. There's 50,000 participants, all dressed up. It's a blast. They've been doing it for, I guess, over 40 years now. So that's the place to go, without a doubt.
Okay. And Ilya?
I'm more concerned with the psychological health of children. Do you think... Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't it, I mean, it's a very good tradition and celebration and stuff, but is it healthy for children to be dressed up as the dead or put blood on them?
Sure, yeah.
What kind of psychological message does that deliver?
Well, first, I would say that most children, like young children, are not super bloody. That's usually more like the adults that go full out with the zombie and the decaying flesh and so on. You can see a picture. This is actually me right here as about a 10-year-old boy. My two brothers here, homemade costumes for my mom. This is more of the style. You know, these days it's more like they'll dress up as minions or you get a little bumblebee or something. If there are scary costumes, I would actually say that's kind of good, you know, because Halloween, fear and death is kind of a part of it. Fear is a part. It's good to experience fear in a safe environment, right? So when kids trick or treat, they're with their parents, they're with their friends, they're walking down the street, they're meeting their neighbors. It's actually more wholesome than you might imagine if you've never experienced it. So when I think of Halloween, I think a little bit about the wild parties of my adulthood, but I really think about the family time that I had as a kid.
Okay, thank you, Chris. And it's time to vote. Let's start with our studio audience. Studio audience, get out your smartphones and get ready to vote. And now it's our judges' turn. Please make up your minds in 3. Please make up your minds in 3, 2, 1. Press the buzzer.
You got that?
And...
Oh? Really, guys?
Again?
High five, Ilya.
Really?
2 out of 4 from our judges. Let's hear why. Starting with you, Ilya.
Well, I kind of expected a different thing because everybody knows Halloween. Everybody knows what's it about. Everybody knows its history, its culture, what people do on Halloween, why they dress like that, how they dress. You just stated the obvious. So for me, that was not the presentation. I didn't learn anything from this presentation for the whole 3 minutes.
Okay. How about a contouring argument? Amy?
Yeah, I definitely disagree. I think it was very informative, as always. You came prepared. You were a little nervous today, though, which was why I was hesitant to press the buzzer, because you were verbally punctuating your presentation with, okay, okay, okay. It became a little bit distracting for us, but I mean, overall, I think you did a great job, as always. Pretty comfortable with the Q&A as well, so I think you definitely deserve a vote because you've been consistent throughout the entire show.
Now, the judges, 2 out of 4. What did our studio audience think of Chris's presentation? Here are the studio points for Chris. From the judges, 20 points. And from our studio audience, 5 points.
Really?
For a total of 25 points from the studio.
Yeah, the scores were lower than I expected, and I was a bit surprised by that, but what can you do? I guess you got to accept the judges' criticism for what it is, and that's what it is. What can you do?
Our last presenter is Melina from Iran. She will be presenting about Iran's Nowruz. Once again, instead of a special video message, we have somebody from the studio audience cheering her on. Now, who is it? Where are you? Woo!
Melina, you always try your best. So we believe today you also can do it.
Melina, we are a huge fan of your presentation, and don't worry about this competition. Do your best. Melina, fighting! Love you.
Hello.
Hi.
Yay, that's me growing up, Melina. So in Iran, we always make a wish to grow up happy, successful, and healthy at the exact time of Nowruz, which is our new year. So Nowruz celebrates reborn and rebirth and renewal, and it's symbolized by coming of spring. And it is a very important Iranian traditional cultural holiday. So yes, today I'm gonna tell you about Nowruz. So it's a compound Persian word, Nowruz, meaning new day. It's been celebrated for more than 3,000 years, and it has a religious Zoroastrian origin. Nowruz falls on March equinox around March 21st, and the moment that sun equalizes night and day is exactly calculated every year, and families gather to observe the rituals. One of the important traditions of Nowruz is Charshanbe Suri, meaning the Red Wednesday. It is a fire-jumping festival that happens on the eve of Wednesday before Nowruz. It is a prelude to Nowruz. Secondly, we have Haftzin, meaning the 7 S's. So right before the exact moment of New Year, it doesn't matter. It's early morning, after midnight, afternoon, Iranians dress up in their new clothes, gather around Haftzin table, and they make a wish and wait for the exact moment of spring arrival. And the 7 items are sabze, which is a wheat sprout, meaning rebirth. And we have seep, which is apple. It's symbolizing beauty and health. Sir, garlic, meaning medicine. Serke, or vinegar, it symbolizes patience. And we have sumac, which is the color of sunrise. Senjet, which is the silver berry, meaning love. And lastly, samanu, which is a sweet pudding, meaning affluence. So, and lastly, we have Sizda Bedar, which means getting rid of 13th. So, Nowruz holiday lasts for 13 days. On the 13 days, Iranians go on a picnic to get rid of unlucky number 13. And in this day, young people, they make a knot with leaves, with plant leaves, and they make wishes for their future, such as their love of life. And Nowruz was registered on UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2009. Also, UN's General Assembly in 2010 had recognized Nowruz as an international holiday, and even Canadian Parliament added Nowruz to national calendar in 2009. Still, there are events all over the world trying to feel and share the joy of Nowruz with gathering around Hafsin table, eating some special food of Nowruz, which is rice and fish, and reading some Hafiz poems. Thank you.
Thank you. That was the last presentation from Melina. Let's take some questions.
Okay, like, sounds it's more like holidays than a festival, right? So, is there closed, like the business are all closed during the 13 days of this holiday, or how is it happening?
Looking back in the time, it was closed really like, I don't know, like 200 years ago, maybe something. They were closed for 13 days, but now not really. They're just closed for 5 days. My dad is an office worker, and they're just closed for 5 days.
Does it have any connection to the religion of Iran, or is it purely just the sun equinox thing?
Yeah, like, as I said, it has an origin, Zoroastrian origin. So if you don't look at Iran, but you look at Persian Empire, yeah, our first religion kind of was Zoroastrian. And you remember my last presentation about Achaemenian king that they made? Actually, they made that just to celebrate this. So it is related to our, religion, because they wanted to kind of celebrate, pray for their God and for their religion. But yeah, that's the way it is related.
Okay, it's time to vote. Let's start with our studio audience. Studio audience, please get out your smartphones and get ready to vote. And now it's our judges' turn.
No, the worst part.
Please make up your minds in 3. Please make up your minds in 3, 2, 1. Press the button. Wow. Oh. Wow. Oh. And plus Ilya. Okay. 3 of our judges voted for Melina, but not Robin. I'd like to hear from you first, Robin.
Yeah, it was really difficult to not vote, but my feeling was like during the presentation, there was so many information, and today's subject was festivals, right? Not holidays. So you could have more, like, highlight one of the day and explain more about it.
Okay, what about the other judges who voted? Punita?
Man, I was avoiding eye contact. Don't talk about it. I thought I think it was all right, but compared to the 3, I didn't want to compare to anybody else or your previous ones. I think it was the best out of the 2 that we saw today. So that's why I gave you my vote.
What about you, Amy? Why did you vote?
I voted because she's an excellent presenter, and I don't think there was anything wrong with the presentation. I don't know what you guys are all upset about.
But I think everybody is good at this point.
Exactly.
Like, we're at the finals, and everybody's good.
That's why I voted for everyone.
Yeah, we noticed. We did notice. Okay, and thus 3 votes from our judges. Let's find out our studio audience's points. Here are the studio points for Melina. From the judges, 30 points. And from our studio audience, 4.5 points for a total
That's
of
so close.
34.5 points from the studio.
Even though it was not 4 votes, still I'm really happy. I was shocked. You know, see, like last episode, finals are really hard to get votes. So I'm really thankful.
Now, this is a global interactive presentation show, so it's a two-way street for us, which means that the 30% of the votes comes from you. So log on to the Bring It On application and vote for your favorite presentation. You get to choose who will be crowned the champion. And in the meantime, our presenters will have to fight for that 20 bonus points. Yes, it's time for the talkback. It's time for the talkback session. It's a chance for our presenters to attack and fight back. We all know how it works by now, so I'm excited. What will they bring? The studio points are so close. So the extra 20 points is huge. Now, presenters, you really want this, so you have 3 minutes to outwit your rivals, and your time starts now.
Now, first things first. In Iran, we all know that most people are Islamic, from an Islamic background. Why didn't you talk holiday?
Let her speak. Stop being so rude.
How is it related to Islamic? Jumping in
I'm trying to listen to her question. You keep shouting.
How is it related to the Islamic culture? I told you it has an origin, Zoroastrian origin. It's not related to Muslims. If you consider the Persian
say it
Empire,
again. It's not related to Muslims.
Because
You say
it's
it and
not
you say it
related
again.
to any religion. It's not related to any religion. That's why they're even celebrating it in Canada. In
So
other
where is the
countries.
spiritual?
Oh my dear, do you know secular? What does it mean? Secular
How
holiday?
come
Do you
I
know what
never
does it
heard
mean?
about
It's
it in
not
my life?
related.
I
It's not
never heard
related
about
to
it in
any
my life.
background religion. Oh, dear,
A
just
question
listen to
for
you. Just
America.
listen to you.
Question for
No,
America.
wait, I have a
Halloween
question for
today.
you.
Oh my God.
Why don't you
Halloween
tell us
today.
about more
Why
details
isn't it
happens on the
spiritual?
first day? Why don't you tell
Why
us about
isn't
the
it
first thing
spiritual as
that
before?
happens on the same?
How did it lose all its spirituality since it first began?
Thank you. Okay, so it happened. It happened over time. It was very religious and occult, right? So the cult aspects of it were driven out through Catholicism. The Catholic aspects of it were drawn out over time as it entered America and was
How can you
interesting.
celebrate? Okay, you're thinking,
intersecting
okay.
with Protestants and so on, and so those aspects were minimized, and the fun aspects.
So
was not.
how can
They're
you
not
celebrate
minimized.
this with your
They
kids? You
don't
know, like toddlers.
exist
Easily.
We are celebrating celebrating rebirth.
Have you ever been to a Halloween celebration?
Oh,
It's
I've
so
lived
much
in the
fun.
States for 3 years. You know, I
Great.
know
So why
what is
are you
Halloween.
asking a question that you know the answer?
The problem is, obviously, I've been there. I've seen the amount use of drugs, alcohol, vandalism, desecration.
Are you kidding me?
How can you let your kid go out in this danger life?
Yeah.
Just go get some kids and
I guess when I was 8 years old, walking down the streets with my
future.
parents, I didn't miss all the drug dealers.
How about
1
offensive
minute
costumes?
remaining.
How about racist
Name
costumes?
one. Name
a
one.
white person covering his face in black is
Oh, come
totally
on.
racist. Look, costumes are supposed to be fancy.
Your
funny,
festival has a black.
scary.
Your festival has a black face.
Yeah, because black.
Oh, yeah, it does,
Black is
doesn't it?
for black.
Then what's the difference
Black
between
color.
your black? Why is
It's
your
okay in
black
Iran?
good? Why is your black good and their black is
You're
black?
not impersonating someone, okay?
Oh, well,
You're
who
being
says I'm
hypocritical.
impersonating?
No,
No,
you're impersonating. For example, a white person impersonating, I don't know, what is it? One of these singers that are black. No, it's being totally rude and offensive and racist.
Okay, tell me,
How
tell
can
me,
you
tell me.
regulate that?
America has a
How come
racist
I never
history. That
heard
was a long
about
time
your
ago.
festival?
How
Tell me,
come
give
you
me a
can
good
get
reason.
married in
Give me a
one
good
day?
reason.
You
Give me a
need
good
to
reason.
you need to know
Well,
the
that's
person
the
for
festival.
years
It has
and years to
meanings.
have a
It
happy
has
marriage.
historical
What is the logic
meaning.
behind this system?
It has
Have you
a
been
lot
married
of-
before?
Have you?
That's not true.
How come? How come?
I've
That's
seen
not
you
true.
don't, you don't need to do everything to have. You don't need to
Extra time is not necessarily being happy married.
Don't give
You don't need to
pointless
go to
criticism about
Time's up.
That was a really scary talkback. It was the worst I can say. And I don't have any idea. I don't know. It was just really intense. I was not expecting it to be like this. So yeah, I'm just keeping my hopes high.
The talkback session is, I don't think it's of much value. I don't know how the judges or anybody could judge it. It's just shouting at each other and, yeah.
This was the most intense talkback ever. I can still feel my heart beating because I was so nervous. And I hope everybody got the chance to hear what I said because everybody was just screaming every way. And I really hope I did well during the talkback.
Okay, that was a scary session. I am worried about my personal security. That was the talkback. That was intense. Now it's up to our judges and our studio audience to give the 20 points. So judges, huddle up and make that difficult decision.
Wow, difficult.
Okay, so the judges' points goes to... Who will announce it?
I will have the honors.
Okay.
Super tough. I think it took like the longest, it was the longest discussion for ourselves, and it was our own talkback session. We had completely different views of who should get it, but the extra 10 points goes to...
Melina. Okay, so the judges decided to give their extra 10 points to Melina, our studio audience. Now, we counted the votes, and notice there are 21 studio audience in the studio. Now, 8 of them voted for one person, 7 of them the other, and 6 of them voted for the last person. So just one vote apart. We've never had this before in the history of Bring It On.
Wow.
So the person who got the 8 votes and thus the extra 10 points is... I don't know, it's so tough.
It is, it's so tough. Just listening to it.
It's not tough to read off the cue card, let's go. Okay, so it is Chris, congratulations.
Oh my God.
Now this means that we have all the votes and thus we have our new champion. So stay tuned for the final result. It's time to hear the verdict. I have the final results in my hand. We've added all the points from our judges, our studio audience, our application, and the final talk back session, and it was intense. I have the name of our new champion right here.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. I have it in my hand, and I will announce it soon. But first things first, I'll start from the bottom. Whew, this is nerve-wracking because all of our 3 presenters made it this far, and thus the stakes are high. 3rd place is Oumaima. We had a total of 34.2 points now, but it was an excellent presentation.
Yes.
We've enjoyed it thoroughly. So how about some last words?
Well, I'm happy that I made it so far. And I would like to thank my sister who was helping me a lot since I began. And I would like to thank the judges and the audiences and bring it on.
And now we're down to the final 2. Melina or Chris? Chris or Melina, who will become our new champion. Are you guys ready to hear the results?
Let's do it.
Okay, step right on up. We're so close to welcoming our new champion, season 4 champion. Now, let's just recap. From the studio, Melina had 44.5 points. Now, that is with the extra bonus 10 points. And Chris, you had 35 points from the studio. Now, that is a pretty big gap considering this is the final round. We've added the application points, and don't be surprised, the gap was only 0.82 points.
Whoa! Less than 1%.
0.82 points. So, did the application points change things, or did it just narrow the gap? I'm curious. What do you think?
I'm curious. I'm more curious.
Here.
So, did the application votes change things?
Hold my hand. Can't take this anymore.
The winner of season 4, our new champion, is... with 51.56 points, Chris.
Judges, studio audience, bring it on app, bonus points, and the final score.
That was a close call. That was actually too close a call. 0.82 points apart, but
Amazing.
well deserved, right?
Well, to be honest, yeah. Congratulations to Melina. She obviously had the better day today, and I guess I really need to thank those online voters because they came through today. So
congratulations, Chris.
thank you very much.
Show off your prize.
I got some beautiful flowers and this cardboard shell.
Yeah. And why don't we hear from one of our judges? Who'd like to talk?
Yeah, I would be the one.
You don't vote, but you like to talk?
Yeah, I love to talk.
Yes.
First of all, I think all guys who stayed with us for the this season noticed that it was a very fierce battle of very talented guys. We saw a bunch of very good and excellent presentations. Everyone did a perfect job. And you guys, all three of you guys, are the winners today. Don't think that there are losers and winners. You're all winners. You made it to the finals, and you did a perfect, a wonderful and splendid job doing this program with us. Thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Thank you, Ilya, for that excellent comment. Thank you to our finalists. Congratulations, Chris. And also, how about a big hand for our wonderful judges? Come on. Reaching out to viewers around the world, this is Global Presentation Show. Bring it on. We have crowned a new champion, Chris, for season 4. And on behalf of the crew and everybody in the studio, I'd like to send out a huge thanks to all of our viewers, all of our voters for your participation and your support. We felt very loved this season, am I right?
Yeah.
It was an incredible season, so I'm so sad it's over. But we're not done quite yet. We have 2 special episodes coming up, so I will see you next week. Bye.
Yeah, congratulations. Great job. Yeah, really.
수고했습니다.